Yeah, I don't see that on here anywhere. No, it's just not on here. What does that mean? So it looks like she just totally forgot to add that in the quote. So that's going to be in addition to the number that's already on here. Yeah, we're already at the top end of our budget. Like I don't even know where I'm going to get that kind of money. I'm just, yeah, I know. Yeah. This is gonna take all night. It just seriously won't load. I am never going to bed.
Mom, I was in the bathroom and Ilsa came in and she started, and then she came right on in, and then she just covered all my stuff, and it's now taking 30 minutes.
She was about to throw away my stuff.
I have a lot to get done. All right, we're gonna calm down. Can you please head upstairs and work this out amongst yourselves? Work it out.
I'll work it out. I'm gonna get it.
Did that look familiar to you? Now maybe your go-to food would not have been peanut M&Ms. Maybe you're more of a chips gal or a French fry gal, or maybe you're even someone who's like, I will eat the toast crumbs or the leftover chicken nugget when I'm stressed. We turn to food when we're stressed so often. It's really normal and common. There are two primary reasons why stress eating is not a useful behavior. One, it can get in the way of you achieving your weight loss goals. Those calories can add up, and they can add up fast. And then second, when we choose food to manage our stress, we are often ignoring the root cause of the stress. We are not actually dealing with the thing, the emotion, the behavior, the person that is actually stressing us out and coming up with a solution. And so it's like using a Band-Aid. Now I want to be very clear. When you stress eat, it is nothing you need to feel guilty about. It is a coping mechanism that you have practiced, and it is a habit that you have developed. And so you're going to work and practice to find other ways to manage stress. This will take time. You will not just hear this little video from me and be like, I no longer stress eat. It is going to be something that you practice over time. And so in those moments when you do find yourself still stress eating, I want you to give yourself grace and remind yourself this: I am practicing becoming a person who manages her stress in a more productive way. I am practicing being a person who doesn't use food to soothe herself when she is stressed. I'm practicing these things. Starting from that framework of, I'm a person who is practicing managing her stress in ways other than with food, I want you now to turn to noticing. As you go throughout your life, I want you to notice, when do you feel stressed and start to want to eat food? What are the patterns you see? You will likely notice patterns developing quite quickly. For me, when my kids start arguing, when they start really like amping up their arguing, it's one of the times that triggers me to want to stress eat. When I have tech difficulties, that is one of the times that I immediately want to stress eat. Those are two really big ones for me. When I feel overwhelmed with work, that is another one for me. So I want you to start noticing these. Keep a section in your notes on your phone, or if you prefer, if you're a paper and person kind of person, write these things down. I want you to notice and write down, here is what stressed me out, here is what I ate. Okay, start noticing these patterns. Do that for a bit of time. Could be a week, could be 2 weeks. Just start noticing those patterns. From there, we're gonna talk about what do we do with that stress. I'm going to give you some questions to ask yourself about the things that are stressing you out. Question number 1, is there something I can do? Is there an action I can take to resolve this situation? That is a really important question. If the answer is no, we're gonna talk about like, what do I do with the stress then? If the answer is yes, there is an action I can take, the next question is, can I take this action now? Do I need to schedule a time to take this action? Is there someone I need to discuss taking this action with? And then take the action. So maybe the action is, I need to delegate this thing. Maybe the action is, I need to ask for help with this thing. Maybe the action is, I need to ask more questions. Maybe the action is, I need to make clearer expectations for others and myself. Maybe the action is, I need better time management skills. These are all things you can do. These are actions. These are not just things to think about. These are things that you can actually do. If you ask yourself, is there something I can do about this stress? And the answer is no. There is nothing you can do about this stress. This is just something it is. You don't have ownership of it, but it is something in your life. We need to then talk about how do you manage those feelings, okay? Because not everything is something that is yours to act on. So what do we do in those situations? The things that I'm about to talk about apply even to those things that you can take action on, because that feeling of stress can still be there. Even if you know, like, I'm going to work on this by creating better systems, by creating better time management, by delegating. In that moment, you are still feeling stress. And so this next part can help both with the action piece and with times where there's just really nothing you can do but manage the feelings. So action is a huge part of it. Gotta take the action. If there's action to take, you gotta take it, or it's just gonna keep coming up and coming up and coming up. But in any case, we want you to manage the feelings then. How do we do that? So then the second question to ask yourself is, how will I deal with this feeling of stress that I am feeling right now in this moment? I want to eat the stress. What will I do instead? And I want you to brainstorm and have selected ahead of time 3 to 5 things that work for you. They might not be the same things that would work for me or for anyone else. They need to be practical and things that you can actually implement. Do not write down, I'm going to take a trip to Paris. Like, that's not gonna happen, right? It needs to be something you can actually do. What are some things you can do in the moment that you feel stressed to help soothe yourself, to help yourself feel better? Here are some suggestions that have worked well for me and for clients. Take a break. If your stress is because you feel overwhelmed with work, take an actual break. Step away from your desk, step away from your place of work, and take a mental break. This is not anything you need to feel guilty about. You will be more productive when you are fresh. Food is not the only thing that can get you a break. And I know a lot of times we feel like it is, like, okay, this is a valid reason to take a break. Everyone needs to eat. No one can question the fact that I need to eat, therefore I'm going to eat food. You can have a break even if food isn't involved. Take a break. Take a walk, go talk to a person, get outside, have some fresh air, lay on the floor, take a few deep breaths, take a break. So that's a really big important one. Just take a break. And some of the other things I mentioned during that, what you might do during a break time, are some of the other really good ways to manage your stress. Getting outside in nature can help a lot of people. It is one of my top things. So whether that means literally just finding a park, going out in your yard, walking around barefoot in the grass, going to the woods, going to the beach, spending time outside can be extremely soothing. Move your body, whether that's lifting weights, whether it's running, doing yoga, dancing, however you prefer to move your body. That is a great way to release stress that does not involve eating food. Talking and or writing. Phone a friend, talk out loud to yourself. It sounds a little bit nutty, but it really works well. I do it all the time. Talk out loud to yourself, phone a friend, write it out. Put pen to paper, write out what you're feeling, write out the things that are stressing you, write out possible solutions. Just brain dump. Music is another great stress reliever that does not involve you eating food. So put on soothing music, put on energetic music. Brainstorm, what are the things that make you feel better when it comes to music? Of course, there are the typical kind of self-care things we think of, like taking a bubble bath or getting a massage. And these things might involve more than you actually can do in that moment. Maybe you don't actually have the capability or time to go and be wet. But if you do, and that's something that works for you, they just might not be as practical as some of the other things I suggested. Taking a break and closing your eyes for a few minutes, taking a break and taking a few deep breaths, going out for a walk, these might fit more into a stressful moment than taking all your clothes off and getting in the bath. But if you can swing it and it helps you, then do those things. Taking a bath, getting a facial, getting a massage. If they work for you, include them. The idea is all of these things that I just mentioned here, I want you to brainstorm, a big brain dump, into a place where you can refer back to. Get all of your ideas out there and then rank your top 2 to 5. When I am stressed, I will, and list the things that you will do. And then practice those things, because it's not going to be second nature. It is second nature to grab for that bag of M&Ms. That's second nature. It is not second nature to, oh, wait a minute, I'm gonna actually walk away from my desk and take a break. Wait a minute, I'm not gonna eat the M&Ms. You know what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna call my mom and tell her about the stressful thing the kids just did. It's second nature to reach for the chips. It is not second nature to say like, you know what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna get outside and I'm gonna walk barefoot on the lawn and take some deep breaths. We need to practice these skills. So identify the things that stress you, brainstorm what you can do to relieve that stress, the actual feeling of stress. Ask yourself the question, is there something I can do about this specific situation? If there is, take action or plan that action. And then remember, give yourself grace when and if you do choose to stress eat, or maybe it doesn't even feel like a choice, it just feels like a snap, I did it. Give yourself grace and remind yourself you are practicing becoming a person who doesn't eat to manage her stress. Thanks so much for being here with me today. I hope that this video helped. Hit the like button and make sure you're subscribed so you're always aware when I have a new video. Catch you soon.